Good afternoon, chaps and chapettes. First thing first, do you like my new haircut? I went out and finally got one, and I think, well, hopefully you'll agree, that it is a vast improvement. A little less, let's just say, hobo-like now. So, yep, that was worth doing. Now, what I want to talk about this week is something I posted up on social media, up on my Instagram and my Facebook page, which is just here if you want to go and have a look. And yeah, a while ago I posted that I got a delivery from Inspired and I did the whole 7 film thing at What's in the Box. And just the other day I posted a teaser where I built up my new toy, except I blocked out the frame. So to all of you guys who have been wondering what new bike I've got, and you've been guessing, and some of you have been way off the mark, but some of you got absolutely spot on. So without further ado, we have my new bike. Da, da, da. It's a Fourplay. I bet a lot of you are wondering, like, why has he got a Fourplay? Doesn't he really like the arcade? Or Ali's known for riding the arcade? Or the arcade is Ali's bike? Well, to be honest with you guys, I do actually love the arcade. I've been riding it for the last 5 years and I think it's the best bike I've ever had. I love how it looks, I love how it rides, and yeah, there's absolutely nothing wrong with the arcade. But to be honest with you, I have been riding it for 5 years, and you know, sometimes a change is good. Even if you've got a car that you like to drive, sometimes you just want to change. So here we are with the Fourplay. Now there's a few other reasons as well. The Fourplay, now that they've shortened the chainstays, the geometry isn't a million miles off the arcade. It's got a slightly slacker head angle and a lower bottom bracket, and that's about it. Now, I was quite curious to see what these things do to affect the riding. I know a lower bottom bracket is generally a little bit more stable, but you know, is it any better for spins? Is it any better for some other stuff? So that's one thing I want to try. The other thing I was curious about was how a longer stem affects riding as well. I sometimes feel having a slacker head angle and a long stem maybe feels better for like fakey nose manuals and maybe like gaps to front, although I've literally not ridden this bike yet, so who knows, I could be way off the mark. The other thing I wanted to try out is basically just the difference in feel between steel and aluminium. Steel, traditionally everyone says, oh, it has a bit of a softer feel, you know, it has a bit of give to it, and to be honest with you, I've never really noticed that. I think on a cross-country bike with long seat stays and really skinny tubes, yeah, you're going to notice it, but our frames are so compact and so small anyway that, to be honest, I'm not sure if can you notice it? I'm not too sure. So that's one thing I'm going to find out. Will the bigger, stiffer aluminium tubes feel any different? The last thing I was interested in finding out was if the weight saving affected riding. You know, the arcade being steel is always going to be a little bit heavy, but the geometry, I think, generally makes more of a difference than the bike weight does. So with this one being actually quite a bit lighter than the arcade, I have no idea how much lighter, but it definitely feels a lot lighter. Be interesting to see just how that translates into riding. So what I think I'll do first is just give you a little bit of a lowdown on some of the parts I'm running on my bike. Some of you guys have spotted that there's some different rims on there, and then I'll go out and have a ride, probably just hit up some of the spots I know, so I can do a direct comparison between the arcade and the Fourplay. And then there's a rider who's actually come over from the Netherlands who's asked me if I want to go riding. So it's called Christian. He's here with his girlfriend, so I will go and meet him later on and yeah, get some riding with him. So yeah, let's see what I'm running on this bike, shall we? By the way, if you guys ever want to know how to make a bike stand up like this, it's all about the hidden stick. In this case, a bit of wire I just found. It's probably going to fall over and scratch the bike any second, but that's a risk worth taking. So anyway, where are we? Right, so it's basically the new 2016/17 Fourplay frame. Differences, well, basically it's got a slightly shorter back end. Other than that, I think the geometry is pretty much the same. The bottom bracket, I don't know what the old one was, but this one's plus 10. 365-ish chainstays, 73-degree head angle. Sorry guys, Inspired, I should have done my homework on the geometry before I started this, but there we go, that's me. Other differences, just generally the frame is brand new, so we've got a lot chunkier chainstays, we've got a different like junction at the seat stay, Now the thing I really love on this is the new bottom bracket yoke, which is welded in the middle, so these bits are actually hollow, and that's actually one of the best chainstay yokes I've ever seen on any bike, so fair play Inspired, you've done a good job on that. Going to the back, we've got brand new dropouts, which I think are pretty damn neat. They're some of the nicest dropouts I've seen on Inspired for a long time. And on the other side, you can see the disc mount is all one piece with the dropout, so that's super strong. And yeah, so strong it doesn't even need a brace in there, which I think makes the frame look pretty clean. So up front we have the new Inspired forks, which are absolutely fantastic. They've got a tapered steer tube in there, which I don't know about you guys, but that gives me so much reassurance. I'm always scared of snapping forks, and I think on an aluminium fork a tapered steer tube is an absolute must. So these things are super light. I'm not sure quite how light they are, but they feel ridiculous. And then down at the bottom we've got a bolt through 15mm axle, which again really helps to get the stiffness up, and it's just a really simple system. It's just one bolt, and yeah, no risk of your wheel falling out. So the other new part that people have noticed and started talking about are the new Inspired rims. Now these I've got sent to test. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely love Spank rims. I have them on my mountain bike and I just think they're brilliant, but I couldn't pass up the opportunity to test out these new Inspired rims. I think they're about 35mm wide, which is pretty handy for not having your tyre roll if you're landing at odd angles or have your tyres a little bit lower. They're really, really light, like ridiculously light. I don't know how they've gotten to be as light as they are. And to be honest with you, when I was building up the wheel, they don't feel too flexy either. I don't think they're quite up there with the Spank stiffness wise, but for this weight, they're still seriously impressive. I don't know what Inspired have done, but they've done a pretty good job. So I think I just need to put these through the test and be harsh on them, do some big drops, do some like 90-degree landings, and just generally put them through hell, and then yeah, we'll see how they cope. The other thing which is really cool is the new Inspired tripod seat. Basically it's a new standard in BMX. It's almost like the next level from Pivotal. The advantages are it's generally a little bit lighter, it sits lower to the frame, and yeah, I think it's just a really nice fit for the bike. It's so proportion wise it's absolutely ideal. It's so close to that tyre though, look at that. It just about gets away without hitting, even though it looks like it is there. I assure you it is not hitting. But yeah, just nice seats, highly recommended. One thing I wanted with this bike was it to look really, really good, so I hope we're kind enough to send up a lot of their orange kit, which I think really stands out and makes the frame like jump out at you. It's like a really nice colour, and yeah, it's not too in your face. I didn't want to go with like orange cranks and orange stem. I think that maybe can be a bit too much, but I think that's just a really nice like way to make like each part stand out. The hubs are the new Pro 4s. This is my first ride on them. When I built up these wheels, it's like you can just tell the quality is absolutely amazing. The spokes fit absolutely perfectly, the tensions are so good, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to trying them. Of course, I've always got the Magura brakes on there. Again, I've chosen the MT6 models. Now the reason why I've chosen these is because they're a little bit lighter, there's a little bit more pad clearance so your brakes don't rub quite so much, and they just give a bit more like of a solid feedback at the lever. So I've just got the levers up here. I always add a bit of rubber just to the ends, because sometimes with trials you pull them so hard it can cut the knuckle on your next finger. So yeah, that stuff's called Sugru, and I'd highly recommend it. I always say that, don't I? I highly recommend it. Like a stuck record. Of course, I'm using the Continental tyres. It's pretty much the best tyres to have. Best grip, best lifespan. Yeah, just the tyres to have, really. Now again, with social media, some of you had seen that I made a bash guard recently. This is just because I want to get the most clearance I can. Sometimes when doing hooks, I find the bash guard can hit and it just messes everything up. So I've gone and made, hopefully this shows up, this guy. This is basically just an ICG, is that how I say it? ISCG mount. And I've just put a bit of nylon at the bottom just to get it as low profile as possible. And yeah, the other advantage is that if I do hit a wall, with it being nylon, it won't mark it and I'll get shouted at less. So I ideal. Just hope it works. Not tried it yet. Hopefully you guys are still watching, haven't got too bored by this, but the last thing I'm going to talk about is something I'm not sure I've inspired or probably like me doing, but as you can see, I've not got a tensioner on here. Turns out that these chainstays are an absolutely ideal length to run 22/16 without a tensioner, and you can see in there, pretty damn tight. Now, chains do stretch when you're riding, so it's probably just a temporary thing, and I'll probably just have to end up going back to a tensioner, but yeah, we'll see. Now, if you don't want to risk it, I'd always recommend using a tensioner. This is kind of just a bit of an experiment, and we'll see how we get on, but it's quite nice not to have anything to bash, so yeah, see if I can get away with it. So yeah, thanks for being patient with all my chat, guys. Hopefully you found the bike interesting, but I guess there's only one thing to do now, and that's just to go and have a ride and see how it compares with my arcade. So yeah, let's get to it. I was having a bit of a bad time with my camera at the last vlog. I'm not sure if you noticed, but I think I had it on the wrong setting. I think it was zoomed in a little bit. So I'm going to try it on Super View and see how that works out for any headcam stuff. Let's see if the stable manual thing is true. We've got a bit of a headwind today. Oh, but yeah, this feels pretty stable. See how far I can get this. The road begins to get a bit steeper in a minute. Oh, almost lost it then. Tricky bus stop corner. Come on, keep it going. Some people in the road, or pavement. Hopefully I can avoid them. There we go. Oh, my arms are getting tired. But so far so good. This is where it gets tricky with the pavement. Oh, I'll tell you what, that is stable. Have a wee play on these walls. I know kind of what my level is here. So let's try and alley-oop 3 or whatever it's called. Whoa! That thing is stiff. Okay, I can notice the stiffness. That's surprising. This is going to take some getting used to. My ankle. I just folded my ankle and I'm pretty sure I just felt something go pop. If I've torn my ligament, I'm going to be raging. Oh no. I'm going to go home, give it a rest. I really hope I've not broken my ankle. Oh. I've done it once before and that took ages to recover from. Plus, if I can't ride, I can't earn any money. So yeah, this is pretty serious. Even if it's not broken, I need to go and rest this, and I will report back when I know more. Okay, I went home and had a wee rest, and I think I got away with it. I'm sure I felt my tendon pop. So I've torn my ligaments before, and it's just that telltale feeling of something popping. It's like when the ligament just comes off the bone, but it seems all right. So it's a little bit sore, just have to take it a bit easy, but I think I got away with it. Now I've just come to Glasgow Green with the Glasgow's version of the Arc de Triomphe to meet up with Christian and his girlfriend. So just wait for them to turn up now. And by the way, for everyone who thinks, you know, I should only ever be on an arcade, hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll have something for you next month that might appease you. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled and hopefully we'll have something interesting for you. By the way, every time I try and wink, it looks like I'm having a seizure, so sorry about that. Cool, so I picked up a few riders. We've found Ross, who's just trying to stop you to... Oh, close man. Then we've got Christian and his girlfriend Chantal. And they've come from the Netherlands. Yes! Let's see how this 3 hops. My ankle may absolutely hate this. No style in that. This is a lot bigger than I remember it being. No problem. Pretty smooth too. Try to test these wheels.
Bang!
So far so good. Ah, I thought you were going to do that one time.
Too good to be true.
Sweet. Can I get some knuckles for that?
Thank you.
Good work. Must admit, I had a bit of a heart attack. I thought you were aiming for that one. No. I thought you just completely missed it. Nice. So I've said my goodbyes to everyone and I'm now back to where I started. I just wanted to come back here and sort of give my thoughts on the bike after my first ride. And the main thing I'm noticing is, which I didn't think I'd notice at all, is just how much stiffer the bike is. Now, I thought with our little frames, with the steel, I thought it was just going to be too small to notice any flex in the steel, but after riding this one, the stiffness is really noticeable. The closest way I can describe it is, it almost feels like I'm riding with like 10 psi extra in the tyres. So it is really noticeable, which I'm really surprised by. My ankle's pretty sore, it's absolutely killing me. Stupid thing, why won't you heal? Why won't you work? Ankle's a pain in the arse. Hopefully I haven't torn a ligament, even though I did hear a popping noise, so it sucks. But yeah, fingers crossed that's okay in the next few days. Yeah, Fourplay, so far so good. I've managed to get up some walls which I'd normally struggle with, and I don't know whether that's just the excitement of being out on a new bike, or whether the extra weight saving has helped, or whether the geometry is any better for it. But yeah, I'm actually really enjoying it. Whether or not I'll stick it out, because I do have something potentially quite interesting coming in the next month or so, we'll see. But I don't know, so far so good. And if you guys can accept me on a bike other than an arcade, I certainly like to keep on trying it out and see what else I can do on it. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I will keep on riding if my ankle lets me. And yeah, I'll try and produce a vlog for you next week. Or what am I saying? I will produce a vlog. You guys demand them. A sore ankle, potentially torn ligaments aren't going to stop me, so we'll see what we can get up to next time. And hope you guys have a good week. Don't forget to subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you next week. Have a good one.